All right, so we have two squads, the yellow squad and black squad. And what we need to do next is figure out, under creating a band, we have to decide on an allegiance for these guys. Now, these two different squads are not, they're going to be going against each other. So they could actually have different allegiances. I'm thinking that there's probably a good chance they're wildlings, so let's see what wildlings looks like. Well, looking at wildlings, it looks like I would have to change what I've already done in the previous videos with skills and stuff like that. Maybe even weapons too for wildlings and equipment. So maybe I should just declare that these two squads are not affiliated with any faction yet, and at a later date they might decide to join a faction, in which case then I can go ahead and upgrade, change things and upgrade depending, what the new rulebook says here. They're kind of strays at this point. And so far in this second edition rulebook, I have not been able to find a map. So I'm going to use the map from the first edition of the rules to determine where on the map this scenario is going to take place. And here we have the first edition map on page 7. And it gives some of the towns and terrain features. And maybe we should do something, place this whole thing that's going to happen between these two stray squads way out on the edges of the map somewhere. The compass here shows us north, south, all that. But the map itself does not have any map scale. So I'm going to have to declare my own. I haven't been able to find anything. So one of the easiest way to do that is to use one of these, and from Bebenberg, which is right there, Bebenberg, to the Newcastle right here, I'm going to declare that distance right there 25 miles. So based on that, you're looking at, I don't know, probably a little under 100 miles from north to south, and then west to east would vary depending on, if you're down here, it's going to be a lot more. So as we zoom in here, I kind of like the sound of this one here. It looks like Penrith, P-E-N, looks like a R-I-T-H, Penrith or Peneth, but I'll go with Penrith. And it's kind of a small little hamlet probably. There's a bridge here that crosses a river. So I'm just gonna say from Cawbridge, this first scenario will take place to the southwest of Penrith. So right here in this little wilderness here, kind of on the edge of the forest, but not in the hamlet of Penrith, but kind of out here, where this scenario will take place between these two squads. All right, after looking through the scenarios here, or quests as they call them, this one looks to be most applicable to the situation, with a couple stray bands kind of trying to find their way, but they need coin, maybe even some food. So this one, called Recover the Pay Chest, seems to be perfect. It says, during the War of Storms, many armies clashed in central Northumbria, and many were slain or routed. Rumors abound of retreating armies being forced to hide their loot and pay chests in the hopes of recovering them later. Sometimes the rumors are true. But more than one beast can follow the clues, and 2 bands have arrived at the same time. So the aim is to find the pay chest and drag it off the table. And then when we set up the table, each side gets to place terrain. And then there's a side quest thing you can do, deployment zones, special rules, the pay chest. All the models in each band are aware that the hidden pay chest is in the large central piece of terrain, which remains to be determined. Any model may search for the pay chest by the usual method of being in base contact with the terrain piece and performing a search action. The pay chest is well hidden, requiring an awareness roll-off against a difficulty of 6. As soon as a model succeeds at the search roll-off, the pay chest is discovered. Use a marker or suitable chest model if you have one to show which model has the pay chest. Place it in base contact with them. The model must then take it to safety by leaving the table via their table corner. Carrying the pay chest will slow the model holding it, and all move actions are treated as if in difficult terrain, and all the model's nimbleness rolls take a -2 modifier. The model carrying the pay chest may drop it at any time. Also, if the carrier is taken out of action, place the pay chest on the spot where they fell. Another model may pick it up by moving into base contact with it. The pay chest is large and heavy, so movement spells such as the gate or transpose will not affect it. The carrying models will be moved, but the pay chest would remain in place. So you start with normal initiative rules, and the game has a variable length. Whichever band has the most models in base contact with the pay chest when the game ends wins. Alternatively, if one band gets the pay chest to safety, that band wins and the game ends. In addition, if only one band is left on the table due to the other band's routing, the game ends, and the remaining band then gains the pay chest. So there are rewards, experience rewards, +1 experience for taking part. So every model that takes part in the battle gains +1 experience. +1 for finding the pay chest. If a model finds the pay chest, they can earn +1 experience. And +1 for escaping with the pay chest, which means leaving the table with the pay chest, they gain +1 experience. And as far as the treasure goes, the winning band gets the contents of the pay chest. So it contains 4 D12 pennies. It may also contain other items, so roll a D6 and consult the table below. So there's a couple different things in there. And I'll probably just add a little bit of food because both of these bands are hungry, so food is also important. Or maybe that could be the side quest. I'm not sure how that works, but we'll see.